I want you to listen to this with one question in mind. Who is actually being protected here? The public or the powerful?
Very critical of President Biden and his family's foreign business dealings. You supported an impeachment inquiry as a result of it. Are you equally concerned about President Trump's family's business dealings, especially given the fact that he is in a region now where his family has billions of dollars of investments in Doha and Saudi Arabia, and the fact that he has a crypto business now where he's auctioned off access to the White House for the highest bidder in his meme coin?
Look, there are authorities that police executive branch ethics rules. I'm not an expert in that. My expertise is here in the House, okay? I'll say that the reason many people refer to the Bidens as the Biden crime family is because they were doing all this stuff behind curtains. Whatever that President Trump is doing is out in the open. They're not
fearful of Trump.
He seems to be going to great pains not to call out things that are obviously corrupt. But what did you make of
Of course, because they're all living in fear of retaliation from the White House. But we do have to just step back and acknowledge that the depth of corruption and self-dealing and self-enrichment by the Trump family during this term is something that we have never, ever seen in the United States. At no point in our republic have we seen anything like this. I mean, you had Jared Kushner took billions of dollars from the Saudis. You've got the president's family going out ahead of his official visits doing business across the region. You've got the meme coin where foreigners are directly enriching the president and his family and his businesses. And some of them are being quite open. Some of the folks buying this coin are being quite open that they're doing it in order to curry favor or to gain influence. And the president is selling private dinners and White House tours to people who invest in his family businesses, not to mention the airplane, which is maybe the most extraordinary single obvious constitutional violation in presidential history. It is really mind-blowing. And for the speaker to say that, when it is the explicit role of the United States Congress to investigate and oversee misconduct by the executive branch, when we have all sworn an oath to that Constitution, which defines that separation of powers and that role for the United States Congress, demonstrates that there is no red line, there is no new depth that this administration can plumb that will get these folks to give a damn. They're absolutely committed to defending and covering up for this president and this administration, no matter what.
All right, let's break down what you just heard. Because beneath the surface, this wasn't a conversation about ethics. It was a conversation about permission, about what certain politicians believe they're allowed to ignore. First, notice the move. The question was simple. Are you equally concerned about both presidents' families and their business dealings? Instead of answering, we got a jurisdiction dodge, a talking point about secrecy, and then a pivot straight into narrative warfare. That's not oversight, that's choreography. And here's the deeper issue. When politicians selectively apply outrage, they're not defending ethics. They're defending teams. And once you start treating accountability as a partisan sport, you've already abandoned the Constitution you swore to uphold. Because the truth is this, Congress doesn't get to choose which president deserves oversight. Congress doesn't get to decide that one set of allegations matters and another doesn't. Congress has one job: to check power. All power. Every administration, every time. What we just watched was the opposite. We watched a lawmaker explain on camera that he's not going to scrutinise the executive branch because it's not his area. But oversight is his area. It's literally what he was elected to do. It's literally his job. And when elected officials start treating constitutional duties like optional side quests, corruption stops being a scandal and becomes a business model. This isn't about Biden. This isn't about Trump. This is about a Congress that has forgotten its role in the Republic. And here's the part that should worry every American, regardless of party. When lawmakers signal that there is no red line, no level of self-dealing or influence peddling that will trigger action, they're not protecting a president. They're dismantling the guardrails that protect me, you, all of us. A democracy cannot survive selective accountability. A republic cannot function when oversight depends on who you voted for. And the government cannot claim legitimacy if its watchdogs refuse to bark. So here's the Civic Rebel bottom line. If you want a healthy democracy, you need one standard, not two. One rule of law, not a menu. And one expectation, that every person in power, no matter their party, faces the same scrutiny. Because the moment we accept anything less, we're not citizens anymore. were spectators